Hello artists! Here we are outside of the classroom again to interview another artist, this time in their studio. I'm here in Old Orcutt at Victorian Stained Glass. We're going to talk with artist Debi Tucker, who uses glass and a little bit of chemistry and a little bit of math and a whole lot of creativity to create beautiful works of art from stained glass.
Debi Tucker is one of the owners of Victorian Stained Glass in Old Orcutt. Known for repairing and teaching classes so others can build with stained glass, the heart of the shop is custom orders. Their motto, "You dream it, we'll build it." So the first step in many projects for Mrs. Tucker starts with design.
This is an example of a picture that's done for a customer who wanted lotus flowers basically in rainbow colors. And this is what the drawing looks like. So each space gets a number and it gets a letter which indicates, the letter tells you what kind of glass you're using, which color of glass, and then there's an arrow that shows the direction. If you look at this piece of glass, you see that the streaks mainly go this way, so that's the direction of this glass.
Speaking of glass, Victorian Stained Glass has an entire room dedicated just to glass. You can find it in every color and every color value you can imagine. Check out the many different variations of just clear glass. Okay, so after the glass is chosen, the pattern's made onto paper. Now the pattern needs to go onto the glass, but we've got to cut it out first. Look at these super cool scissors that have a special function.
So it takes that much out. And the reason we do that is because when we cut the glass, it's going to go into a piece of lead, and it's about that wide in between. And you have to account for that space or it's all messed up by the time you get to the end, and you don't want that.
After the pattern's cut out, it's traced onto the glass. Notice that the number of this piece is also traced onto the glass as well. This lets the artist see where this piece will fit into the finished window and keeps them organized. Mrs. Tucker is using a glass cutter to score or tell the glass where she wants it to break. But it doesn't break the glass just yet. There's one more step. Using the breaker, Mrs. Tucker squeezes where the glass was scored, and now the glass breaks along the crack she created.
Stepping on the pedal down here.
Next step, grinder. Using a diamond bit, yes, I said diamond, Mrs. Tucker sands the edges smooth on the glass piece. The grinder uses water to keep the glass from overheating and breaking. She must keep the glass moving so that it grinds evenly and doesn't remove too much glass in one place, or the piece won't fit into the finished window. With all the pieces cut and sanded, Mrs. Tucker uses the numbers and arrows from the pattern to piece the panel together like a giant puzzle.
Pieces of metal, and they need.
The glass in a stained glass window is held in place by metal strips. These strips need to be connected or soldered together to hold the glass firm. After brushing on a chemical flux, which helps the metal stick, Mrs. Tucker lays a metal wire over the area to be soldered or connected. She heats it with a soldering iron. This process melts the wire.
So that's what we've done in each of these places where the metal comes together.
Now the window has officially been built, but it's not finished yet.
So right now the metal is very shiny, and we don't really want that to be that way because we want the glass to be the thing that you really notice. We don't want you to walk up and say, "Wow, shiny metal." We want you to go, "Wow, that's beautiful glass." So I'm going to put a chemical on here called Patina that's going to turn this black.
Because patina is a chemical reaction, gloves must be worn. If any of the chemical were left on the glass for a long period, it would leave marks on the glass as well. So after the patina is rubbed on, the window gets its first of 2 cleanings to remove any excess chemicals. And after a good cleaning...
Okay, so now comes the magic part. With the soft cloth, and we just come and buff it, kind of like if a person waxes a car. You put the wax on and you come back and see how the metal gets shiny now.
And after polishing, one final cleaning. In fact, this final cleaning can take up to 1.5 hours for a piece this size. Mrs. Tucker even uses an electric toothbrush to be sure all the corners are clean and ready for the customer. What's her favorite part of this whole process?
I really enjoy the drawing part a lot, and talking with the customers about what they want and making that happen. But for the finishing part, I really like this. I like the cleaning it up and shining it and just seeing it going, wow, look, here's this pretty thing that I've seen it through from the beginning. From the idea that the customer had to the drawing to the building, and now it's done.
And the finished product. Beautiful. Thank you to Mrs. Tucker and Victorian Stained Glass for having us in their studio today.